Hey guys, Josh Ewan here with tnhorsetrails.com, your source for all things trail related in Tennessee. Here we are in our second part of the series of trail preparedness, and I want to go over what I carry in my backcountry saddlebags here. So, one of the things that we always talk about in our training videos is be prepared. Be prepared for anything you can imagine that may come up in your trail ride. It could be a medical emergency or a survival situation. So in this bag, we really cover a lot more things that could happen. In our last video of day ride packs, it's kind of an abbreviated version of what you might need to carry because you're not going out very far. In this one, you could be anywhere in Tennessee, and this is mostly what you'll need. Now, if you come up with something, if you carry something that I don't cover in this video, I would love for you to leave it in the comments below, and I may just add it to my bag too. So let me get into this. I'm going to cover the first thing here, which is my main pack. So inside my saddlebags, I keep a water-resistant bag, and then we're going to go over a few more things in the saddlebag when we're done with this one. But inside the water-resistant bag, I have several other things. I have a waterproof bag right here. So once again, it's just a Ziploc bag. It's the same thing that I carry in my day kit. The thing I like about my Ziploc bags is that I can see everything that is in this bag without having to dig around in a bag that I can't see through. So let's break this open. We're going to look through this, see what we can show you here. So the first thing on the top of my bag is this little tent. It's a two-person survival tent. It's made out of Mylar material, which reflects heat. It's going to be great to keep your core temperature at the right level when you're camping at night. Of course, as you know, a lot of times it cools down at night. So we want to be able to stay warm and stay comfortable even if we're lost. A big part of being lost is to stay comfortable, have something familiar to you, which is good warm heat, and that way you can keep a clear mind as to what you need to do to be able to get out. So this one is called Don't Die in the Woods. I actually got this on Amazon. It's a wonderful little tent. I've opened it up and looked at it. Really cool little pack. So I always carry that with me. The second thing that I have is a paracord bracelet. These things are great just to be able to have extra paracord, to be able to tie your tent down if it's windy, repair your saddle, whatever you need to do. You can even use it as a tourniquet if you need it to. So, little paracord bracelet. I have more of an advanced map compass. So this one has not only the map grids and everything, the measurement tools, but it also has a mirror. Now it has a lens here so you could spot targets whenever you're shooting an azimuth, but I have used this mirror several times and just tried it out to be able to reflect signals back to base camp, and boy, I mean, it works good from a long distance away. Okay, so it's good to have a mirror in case you're in a survival situation. The search and rescue is coming after you. They're trying to find you. They can't find you. You can always signal them with a mirror. So it's good to have this along with a map that you can figure out, how far the distance is in a certain direction. Okay, so try to find you a map of that general location that you're going to be riding. Okay, now I have a headlamp here. I love headlamps because most of the time my hands are busy. I have to be working with my horse or something at night, and I need this headlamp. Not only do I carry a headlamp, it has batteries in it, and I do refresh those batteries from time to time because they can corrode if you leave them in there too long. But I also keep extra batteries taped up here. I have a fire starter. These come in just ready-made packs. You can light them up very easily. The last thing you want to be doing is trying to light a fire, especially if it's wet or humid. A lot of the things that you're going to light a fire with are going to be damp, and it's very difficult to do that. So you really do need a fire when you're out there, more for your sake of just being able to stay comfortable and have a clear mind as you're out there. Have something familiar once again. I also have a whistle. Now, I was lost in the woods one time, and I was lost for a day, and hollered and hollered and hollered. Finally lost my voice by the end of the day. So, you know, even if somebody would have been close enough to hear me, they wouldn't have been able to because I didn't have a voice left. Heaven forbid you're injured and are not mobile. You can't go to the source that you're hearing. So it's good to have that whistle along with you. Again, a Bic lighter. They work really well in wet conditions, and I have duct tape wrapped around it for another fire starter option. Poncho. Need to stay dry if it's raining. I have Quikclot in here. This is an impregnated bandage with Quikclot so that if you are bleeding, you can put this on, wrap the gauze around it, and it will help stop the bleeding. You can buy, like I said, most of these things on Amazon. There's another pack of Quikclot. If you need to see that, that's what it looks like. Really great tool there. I've actually used that on a horse. There was we were out riding and a gentleman came up riding his horse. He had his sock tied around the horse's coronet band. When he untied the sock, and every time the horse stepped, he would shoot blood. And so we used a Quikclot impregnated bandage, wrapped it up, and that got him all the way to the vet from the trails. It worked out really well. I keep Benadryl in case of ground bees. Okay, so I have this trauma wound dressing, and this one is shrink wrapped. It keeps it sterile, and it makes it to where it's easy to put in my bag. It doesn't take up much room because it's shrink wrapped. So this one is the emergency bandage is what it's called. Really great to have. It also has an expiration date on it, so you have to go back and renew those. I have my flagging tape. So with this, I'm going to be sure that I'm going to use this if I get lost. So from the time I get lost, I'm going to stop. I'm going to make something that I can see and recognize from a distance, out of sticks, poles, whatever. And then I'm going to use my map and compass and shoot off in a true direction with my compass, and I'm going to be flagging my path all the way out. If I don't get to a road or a campground or whatever I'm looking for in that amount of time that I should get there, well, I know that I'm a little off on my direction. So then I'm going to backtrack, pick my flags up, and go in a different direction. But I always want to keep that one location that I got lost. I want to know where that is. I don't want to be wandering around the woods just going in circles. So I keep this flagging material. It's already broken apart into pieces that are ready to tie onto trees. All right, I have triple antibiotic ointment. This is a really cool one. So this is the Sawyer straw. This is a water filtration system, and this one goes to 0.1 microns, which is pretty well going to filter out everything that's going to hurt you. So you could use this on a creek bed, a pond, it doesn't matter. You can suck water right out of it. But one of the things I like about this one is that it also works with this little, what you could call a canteen. It fits right onto it. You can fill this bag up and actually carry the water with you if you don't know if you're going to have another source of water anytime soon. So this one is called the Sawyer straw. The entire thing is called the Squeeze Water Filtration System from Sawyer. Good tool. Also have an instant cold pack. So this one is one that you can pop and it gets cold. It doesn't stay cold a long time, but if you have an injury and you have swelling, it's always good to put a little something cold on it. It might get you out, just to keep the inflammation down. It'll last long enough to get you out of the situation. I have rubber gloves to protect me from bloodborne illnesses. I have a light stick. And one of the things that I do if I'm in the backcountry, there are times that if you're riding from campsite to campsite in the backcountry, your horse really doesn't have an opportunity to eat. So, if you're stopping at a camp in the backcountry, instead of putting your horse on a high line, you can maybe hobble your horse instead, put a bear bell on it, and then tie a glow stick to its tail so that throughout the night you can check on where your horse is so that he doesn't get too far away. And it allows him to eat in the backcountry. Alright, so glow sticks are great. Also, if you're lost and you have a search party coming for you, that's another opportunity for them to see you. Now, the other thing that I always carry is, let me grab it from right over here, is my Mylar blanket. So these Mylar blankets, they're great to have, especially if you have somebody in shock, if you get cold. This reflective material will reflect your body heat back to you. So it's a great tool to have. It doesn't take up much room, and it's definitely worth it if you get into that kind of situation. But one of the other things that you could use the Mylar blanket for is if you get lost, you can't find your way back, you can take this and tear it into strips. It's really easy to tear, but you could use a knife with it as well. Tear it into long strips and then tie it all over a tree, all over the branches of a tree that's out in the sun. That's going to reflect light back to anybody that's around because it's hitting all directions at the same time as the wind blows. Okay, so it's a great tool to have for that kind of situation. All right, another thing, this one's been loved on a lot. So you have a camp saw. All right, I've used this thing a tremendous amount. You have camp saws. Now, if you really think you're going to get into a lot of stuff, you get into a bigger pack at this point. But they have these little battery powered saws as well that you can carry. And these things will chew through most anything. They are wonderful. It doesn't have a battery in it right now. It does have a guard on top of it so you don't hit your hand on it. But as you cut through the tree, that pops up. It comes right up when you cut through. I've used this thing a lot to clear my own trails. I don't carry it much on the trail with me just because of weight and space. But, if I go out and I feel like there's going to be a lot of limbs down, that kind of thing, that might just save me, especially if you're riding mountain country, to keep from having to go up and down the mountain. All right, so that's all the stuff there. Let's see what else I have. I have a tourniquet. So this is a really great tourniquet. It's ready-made. It has just a little strap that you pull. You twist that off. And then you just hook it back into the keeper here, and that holds it there, holds it tight. Okay, again, you can get a lot of these things online. Pretty easy to get your hands on. So those are the things that are in my main kit. Now let me go over a few of the other things. While I'm getting this stuff out, I want to make mention that this main kit here, it has a little weight to it. So I put that on one side of my bags. And then I just put a few things on the other side so that I can then throw water in here or food, lunch, whatever I'm taking into the other side. You want your saddlebags to be equal weight on both sides, at least as close as you can. If you have an unequal weight, it will pull to the side, and it can actually pull the back of your saddle to one side as you ride along, making it uncomfortable for your horse. So here's another thing that I carry. All right, so this is just a map bag. This is waterproof, has Velcro here, and then it has a little opening there, just like a Ziploc bag. You can put your map in here. Usually what I do is I just hang this on my horn of my saddle, and I always have my map available to look at as I'm going down the trail. You can get those for maps. You can get them for your cell phone. Here's one for a cell phone. All right, keep your phone dry. Another thing that I carry is a two-way radio. I usually have one of these back at base camp if my family's camping with me. They're line of sight radios. They don't shoot very far, but every once in a while you can get to the top of a hill, or you can get close enough in some kind of way where there's not a hill or a lot of trees in between you, where you can make contact back to base camp. And sometimes it's really important, especially in case of emergency, so you don't have to go that extra mile back to base camp to get the supplies or the help that you need. Another thing I carry, I love this one. This is a Garmin InReach. This is my little GPS system, and this will hook on your belt loop or it'll hook on your saddle. I like to keep this one on me instead of on my horse, just in case me and my horse get separated somehow. I like to have this on me so I can get back out. Now you can download maps of that location onto the GPS, and then it will get you out. It will take you down the particular trails that are active trails in that area. It also has a texting option that you could text back for help, or you can text back to let people know you're okay. It has a tracking option, and then it has this button on the side. You lift this up, and there's a button down there underneath it. If you hold that down, that's an SOS button, and that will bring in emergency services. Okay, another thing that I have is a SAM splint. SAM splints are really cool. So they're moldable, and you can use this to put it on an arm, and you can brace an arm if it's a broken arm. All right, so in this case, if it was this part of the arm, I might bring it down like this, and then I would wrap that, and it actually holds it steady, all right, until I can get back. So SAM splints are really cool. That's what they look like. They don't take up much room because they fold flat. All right, so that's my SAM splint. Snacks, always have plenty of snacks. I've got a lot of those just for if I want them throughout the day, and I also have them if I get into a survival situation. All right, so that covers everything in my, well, I have one more thing here. This is important. My high visibility vest. I always want to have this. Some of the places that you ride, they have hunting seasons, so you want to be visible. But also, if you get lost, you also want to be highly visible. So this one not only has the high vis blaze orange color that you would use that's legal for, you know, hunting season, but it also has reflectors on it in case there's a search party at night. So along with that, I carry a multi-tool on my belt. It's ready to go at any time. All right, so those are the things that I carry in my backcountry bag. Now, I might carry this even if I'm not going out in the backcountry ride. I might carry it if I'm doing a day ride in maybe a big area where I'm covering a lot of miles that day. If I'm hitting 20 miles that day, I can get pretty far away from people and away from camp. So I want to be prepared in that kind of situation. So that's my kit for if I'm going further out. I hope this helps you guys out. Again, if you have any recommendations of what you carry, and it's a little different from what I carry, I would love to see it in the comments below. And I'll also leave a list of all of these things in the description. Be sure and check out our website at tnhorsetrails.com. It's a video-based trail directory of every horse trail and campground in the state. My family and I are doing this project. We've been doing it for 2 years. And our goal is that all trail riders can know and see what they're going to be doing before they actually commit to going there. So hope you guys are doing well. We look forward to showing you our next video. Take care.